From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather, live at 5.
Fred Gossett here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center on this Thursday late afternoon, live at 5 with your latest forecast update. We've had a lot of cloud cover across the area for a large part of the day, but we have returned to sunshine. But that cloud cover kept temperatures on the cold side today, making the afternoon sun a little too late in terms of temperatures. Here's the live look outside at Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. On the Arctic Air Skycam network, it's 38 degrees. This is a live look from atop the big water tower in front of Walmart on the north side of town. 28 is the dew point. That gives you an idea that temperatures overnight are going to be cold down into the 20s. We'll talk about the forecast here in just a second. And north wind currently is 7 miles per hour. So for right now, we are still pushing in that cooler and drier air mass. The winds will switch around to the south tomorrow and will start to change things quickly. But for now, we're on the chilly side and feeling much like the winter that we're still in across the area. Here's a live look at Florence, Alabama from the University of North Alabama campus atop Rivers Hall. 37 degrees as we look southeastward back toward the Wilson Dam area. 29 is the dew point with a north-northwest wind currently at 3 miles per hour. Take a look at live Viper radar. Nothing on radar itself late this afternoon, but temperatures are on the map and we're plenty cold here. Most all of us between 35 and 40 here at the 5 o'clock hour. And we will drop pretty efficiently as we head after sunset into the overnight, with many of us heading down into the low to mid 20s for overnight lows with a northerly wind here on the front side, the eastern side of the approaching high pressure that will slide north of us. Now by tomorrow, the high pressure is on the eastern side of us, giving us a southerly wind, but we have to get there first. And we have one more really cold night because of that before we moderate the temperatures. And here are temperatures tonight across the area. Expect partly cloudy skies overnight, low to mid 20s across southern middle Tennessee, and then mid to maybe some isolated areas in the upper 20s over northwest Alabama, northeast Mississippi. We do start to get more of an easterly and eventually southeasterly wind going into tomorrow and tomorrow night. I think it's more of an easterly wind for the daytime hours, and then more of a southeasterly to southerly wind during the overnight. We do manage to get into the low to mid 50s for daytime highs tomorrow with partly cloudy skies. And then we dip into the 40s during the evening, especially the lower 40s. But it's going to be a case tomorrow night where overnight lows happen during the evening hours. And then we warm temperatures up after midnight tomorrow night as a warm front comes north across the area, and a few showers possible tomorrow night and in the Saturday morning as well. And then we'll talk about stronger thunderstorms for Saturday night here in just a moment. Because of that next round of heavy rain that we have coming, there is a flood watch in effect for all of our Tennessee counties and back into North Mississippi. This is valid from Friday night through Sunday morning for that next potential for localized heavy rain. National Weather Service in Huntsville has stated that they may also have to issue a flood watch themselves over North Alabama. They are still trying to pinpoint where the heaviest rain will align over their area, but the flood watch could be expanded into North Alabama for especially that late Saturday afternoon and Saturday night heavy rainfall, where there could be an additional 2 to 3.5 inches of rain across the area, especially once you get from about Russellville to Athens in Alabama back through the shoals and then north into southern middle Tennessee. The yellow areas, that's where we expect 2+ inches of rain. Once you get closer to I-40, where the warm front will stall during the morning and midday hours, that area could see another 3 to 5+ across those regions. And then down here south of the Tennessee River in North Alabama, closer to 1.5 inches to maybe 2.5 inches of rain. But even that, after all the rain we've had so far this week, will cause the potential for additional flooding and flash flooding as we head late Saturday afternoon and especially Saturday night with the main line of thunderstorms. There's still a level 2 out of 5 risk of severe weather for Saturday for late afternoon through the overnight for all of southern middle Tennessee, a large part in North Alabama into North Mississippi. But you notice they are creeping that level 3 out of 5 risk a little closer to the viewing area, and now it does include parts of Franklin County, Alabama in our viewing area. And there is the potential that this level 3 risk could be expanded farther northward in future updates, either for the damaging wind potential or if we get more confidence in the idea of a few supercell thunderstorms ahead of the line late Saturday afternoon and Saturday night, that would have an elevated tornado potential. That's still a question mark, but that is still something that's still a possibility that we're working on as far as the details. I think the main time window is between 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon all the way through 2 a.m. after midnight Saturday night. We're starting the time window as early as 4 o'clock in the afternoon in case there may be those individual supercells during the late afternoon and the evening. However, the main line of thunderstorms likely arrives sometime 8 o'clock or after during Saturday evening into the overnight. But we'll still have to watch as early as the afternoon. A few tornadoes will be possible. In addition, with any supercells that may be ahead of the line, but there could be a few spin-up tornadoes with the line itself. Damaging winds of 50, 60, 70 miles per hour possible. Not everybody is going to get wind like that Saturday night, but there will be some portions in the line that have the potential to produce wind gusts like that. And it's going to be a lot easier this time to knock down trees and power lines than it is in other systems because we have such saturated soil conditions from all the recent heavy rain here that the tree systems are weakened, the soil is loose, and it won't take as much wind to knock down trees and power lines. So be aware of that and make sure you have contingency plans to get warnings in case you have power outages Saturday night. Not much of a hail threat, but if there are a few supercells ahead of the line, maybe some isolated hail up to quarter size. Flash flooding is an elevated threat that we will be watching carefully, in addition to the damaging wind potential and the possibility of a few tornadoes. And again, this is an area-wide threat across all of southern Middle Tennessee, all of North Alabama, and all of Northeast Mississippi. That system moves in here Saturday night. Behind that, we're back to cooler air once the storm system moves through, with daytime highs into the 40s going into Sunday and early next week, and then wintry temperatures continue on through the middle of the week as well. And we have some question marks on the forecast on the 7-day we'll show you here in just a minute. So the daytime hours tomorrow are dry, but clouds will be increasing, especially going into the evening. And then once we get deeper into the overnight, a few showers will be possible. We'll be up into the 50s tomorrow. We'll be knocking on the door of 70 degrees by Saturday afternoon. Late afternoon into the overnight, that's when we'll be watching for the possibility of strong to severe thunderstorms. Rain in Sunday morning, and then we're back to wintry type temperatures going into next week, and we're still watching that system around next Wednesday for the possibility of rain and maybe a wintry mix with that. Models are still back and forth. They're a little less gung-ho today on the idea of wintry weather than they were last night and yesterday, but that could flip right back. So there are a lot of question marks right now. It's not a guarantee we're going to get wintry weather next week, but the overall large-scale pattern is favorable, and that system, it is showing signals that we'll have to watch. Once we get past the Saturday system, we'll know a lot more about what's happening in the middle of next week. There's what's your latest 7-day forecast. I'll be back at 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock with another check of your local weather.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.